If a bully breeder has bred to a bulldog before, and you know as a bully breeder, you bred to this dog, you bred to this bulldog, why would you feel ashamed to put that bulldog on your pedigree? But you wasn't ashamed to breed to that bulldog. I mean, because if we know that these dogs have been having traces of bulldog in them, why are people ashamed to put that specific bulldog that you bred to on your pedigree? Now that the ABKC has Merles in their ring, why are the people who own the Merles not telling the world what dog they used to get that Merle from? And why isn't that dog on the pedigree? I have no problem, just like everybody else, have no problem with bulldogs and French bulldogs, and most definitely the English bulldog. He's most definitely used to create a bully nowadays. The English bulldog is most definitely used to create a bully nowadays. Somebody probably gonna say, he's smoking too much weed. No, I'm not. Go breed 2 pit bulls, and I bet you their heads don't come out like your bullies. If you wouldn't bred 2 staffs right now, their heads wouldn't come out like some of the heads on your bullies. So you have to mix dogs in order to get certain features. And the mixing of the dogs, to me, needs to be just like, that's one thing that needs to be exposed. Like, if you're gonna mix the dog, at least put the dog that you mixed with on the pedigree. The dog that you bred to, any dog that you breed to, any dog that you have bred to make puppies, and you plan on selling these puppies, you should have all the parents on the pedigree, grandparents and everything, even the dogs that you guys are using to turn the dogs different colors. They should be on the pedigree also. They should be on the pedigree also. Yeah, and still, when you look at pedigrees, all you see is colorful bullies. Bullies that couldn't have came from the lineage of the true bullies. Like all these tricolored bullies. Bullies that couldn't have came from the true lineage. There might have been tick bullies. There was a lot of old school tick bullies. Tick tick dogs, period. But when you take and make a dog like a lilac fawn and a lilac fawn merle and things like that, and these dogs aren't on the pedigree, see, all of that is what causes problems and raises suspicion. That you don't have a bully, you have a mutt. Because if you can't tell us how you put this dog together, how can somebody assume that it's an American bully? They can't just say that's a bully when he looked like a bulldog. And let's just keep it honest about the tails. Yeah, the tails. Remember I told y'all on one of my videos, I said some of their tails is getting smaller. You can look at some of the tails and tell, like, man, you had to breed to some kind of dog with a small tail in order for your dog's tail to be getting smaller. There's certain things you can point out on the dogs now that'll make you say, hell no, you couldn't have got that from a real bully. A true bully, like a 100% mom, and the mom was 100% bully and the dad was too. One of them could have practically had some edge in the blood. like a true ass bully. You breeding to true bullies, you won't get the colors that you're getting. You probably wouldn't get them colors. But look at the colors that's coming out. But none of those dogs are on the pedigree that gave any of these dogs that color. And just to know that the ABKC is letting the Merles walk up in there without even having a Australian Shepherd on the pedigree, a Collie on the pedigree, uh, a Great Dane on the pedigree, a Greyhound on the pedigree. All those dogs are Merle. A Dachshund on the pedigree, a miniature pincher on the pedigree. Those dogs are Harlequins. Because some of the dogs are Harlequins. I mean, there's so many Merles out there, y'all don't even know which one is Harlequin and which one is Merle. And none of these dogs on the pedigree. But the dog is Merle. And it's almost to the question of like, who's turning these dogs Merle? You know what I'm saying? Who's turning them colors? Like, how are they getting smaller? We know already. We just gonna just keep it real, man. The dogs are getting smaller because I'm gonna keep it real, man. Don't y'all think somebody could have even actually bred to a Chihuahua and then took that back to an exotic, you know, just to get them smaller? The Chihuahua has been implemented in the program, the Applehead. You know, that's the small one. I mean, it's real. I mean, these dogs have been crossed up with dogs that ain't even on the pedigree. I don't mind the crossing the dogs. Some of the dogs are very nice. Let's just tell the truth. Some of the dogs are very nice. They're very nice dogs. But the dogs that they've been crossed to are not on the pedigree. They're not on the pedigree. With the dog that turned him Merle, the dog that made him smaller, like small as a soda can. Shit, man. I mean, you barely see Chihuahua small as a soda can. They got this dog small as a soda can with all the bully features. That's crazy right there. That's awesome. Just to do something like that. That's like awesome just to do something like that. You got this dog with all the bully features, but he's small as a soda can. And he is, you know, this is what the world wants. This is what turns the world on, is just to see dogs that look like this. And you know what? People don't like it. People don't agree with it. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you don't like it and you don't agree with it, shit, best thing for you to do is not own one. Because everybody else gonna own one. And those who can't own one, they're gonna find some kind of way to buy one. I mean, it's like when you see a big old... Back in the days, you used to have big gray line dogs. Big old gray line dogs. But nobody ever said that, you know, they were XLs and they were putting on this big old famous mark for the XLs. See, the XLs to me haven't just came around. They were part of the bully breed a long time ago, but they were under a different name. They were under Gray Line. They were big dogs too. They were big dogs. They were vicious too. When you look up and do the history on some of them. They was vicious dogs, man. For real. These were vicious dogs. But not all of them was vicious, and mostly, I mean, all of them was nice dogs. Nice in color. No, it wasn't no Merles in there. It wasn't no Merles at Gray Line. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see no Merles over there. You know, I didn't see those. Not the Merles. You know, those won't go on the pedigree. But, yeah, y'all got these big old gigantic double XL dogs. XL dogs. Now, I don't know how the new generation has made their dogs XL. I assume that they use Mastiff And then, a lot of them said that, hey, we missing out on the money train. So we gotta breed to a Merle. So we can have some XL Merles. So now they got the XL Merles. They had to do, some things. Cause you got the big old dog Hulk. People think and assume he's a band dog. You know, got some pit bull off in the line, got some Camelot dog off in the line. He's a big dog, big wonderful dog. So then the XLs nowadays could have came from some Mastiff. You know what I'm saying? Could have came from some Mastiff, and you know, let me see. You could, man, a smart breeder would have probably bred it to a skinny dog just to give it some speed. So you might have, you know, you might have some Great Dane off in there. You could have some Greyhound up in there, or I don't think you got no Whippet. But you might have some Great Dane off in there. You know, some Dogo Argentino might be off in there to make a big old Mastiff. You know what I'm saying? Of nowadays, because them is the dogs that will be used, I would think, to use. Probably some different ones, some that I haven't even touched on. You know, but when it comes to the American Bully nowadays, shit, most definitely, we can see that the dogs have been crossed to the English Bulldog. Most definitely, that's one of the main dogs, and now it's becoming Frenchie. But the Bulldog needs to be that exact Bulldog though that bred and made this new American Bully. He needs to be put on the paperwork. Don't y'all think we need to start seeing some of the dogs that's actually breeding these dogs on the paperwork? I mean, they say they breeding these dogs. Let's see them on the paperwork. How did you get these new dogs to turn into fluffies? Like, how did you get them to turn into fluffies? What dog did you use to turn the French Bulldog into a fluffy? Was it the Pomeranian? Was it the Pekingese? You bred a Pekingese to a Frenchie? You know? I mean, boy, when it come to making a Frenchie, fluffy Frenchie nowadays, you can always find a scruffy mutt around the neighborhood. You can always find a scruffy mutt. And if you got a French Bulldog, you can always find a scruffy mutt and breed him in there. See, that's crazy right there in itself. The fluffy. Yeah. And they talking about you gotta have two copies of the fluffy just to make one fluffy. So you have to have two copies of this dog. So that means the mother has to be a fluffy, and the father has to be a fluffy in order for your baby to be a fluffy. You cannot breed this is what I'm understanding. You cannot breed a mother fluffy to a father piebald. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. See, that's kind of like destroying the line right there. But if you create a new breed, go for it. You feel me? Go for it. But I'm gonna tell you, man. Some of these dogs that's in the American Bully, they need to just go on and put them on the pedigree, especially when it comes to that Merle dog. What dogs did y'all use to make him Merle? Why aren't they on the pedigree? What dogs did you use to get that thick neck and these broad shoulders that pit bulls don't carry and Staffordshires don't carry and Ryan dogs and ruffian dogs don't carry? And watchdogs don't carry these broad shoulders and and make them ripped up. They don't carry that. What dogs did you use to get it? Because when you look on the pedigrees, like I said, you just gonna see some colorful ass dog on the pedigree that really wasn't the dog that bred, and it ain't gonna be. To me, they not truthful. You know what I mean? The pedigrees aren't truthful. You know what I mean? You never get to the bottom of the situation of what dog actually gave this dog that color. And that's what some people just would like to know, include me. You know, I would really like to know that. Like, what dogs did you use to get this color? What dogs did you use to get this merle? What dogs did you use to get the dog to shrink? Like, what was the process to get him to shrink? You know what I'm saying? I'm for real. That's crazy, man. But that's just something I wanted to ask because I had to be truthful about that. You know, right here. Old face the bully, man. You know, what dogs did you use to do these things? And why aren't these dogs on the pedigrees? Why? You know, you want to defend it tooth and nail that no, we didn't put the bulldog in there, and then you know what? We did use the bulldog because we couldn't keep using the bully, but he's not on the pedigree. That's the crazy part. You gotta even ask yourself though, is that the crazy part?